Okay, we are going to do something a bit different. We're going to play a different game to usual. Obviously, it's going to be a slightly longer game. But yeah, we're going to play a bit of Train Sim World. We are going to be driving the 1648 Gatwick Express service from Brighton to London Victoria, calling at Gatwick Airport. We haven't got long to set up the train, so we should probably get started with that straight away. Um, yeah, so I have played this route many times, but on like older versions of the train sim world. So we're gonna have like pop-ups like these. Let's get the AWS on, which I think's this one. Yes, let's get that on. And we are pretty much set up. Oh, the doors are already. Oh no, they're not unlocked. Oops. Um, I don't really know if I'm going to be doing much talking in this video, just because obviously it's going to be like an hour long, this video. How many? God, we're a massive train today. Holy shit. We're formed of 12 coaches, but then again, it is going to be forming a busy service with rush hour. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, sorry, I used to play this on Train Sim World 4 quite a bit. But we are on Train Sim World 5, so let's open these windows. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. We won't open the one next to us because I don't want it to be too windy. But yeah, here we are. Should be a nice little route. It's nothing too long. We've only got one stop. Um, yeah, so let's just get started and hopefully nothing too crazy will happen. But yeah, like I said, sort of like when I'm driving between stations, again, probably won't be much talking, especially when we're on like, the faster lines where we're just going to be like plain sailing essentially. Um, just because, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not too much to talk about on this game. Um, I mean, a bit of like background with me and like these simulators. I do quite enjoy playing them, but I do get bored of them very quickly. I tend to go through like spells, so I could have like a week of playing, for example, Train Sim World, and then I'd be like really bored of it. Um, just because obviously it's the same shit really, same shit, different day. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt like playing it tonight, so that's what we are going to do. It's all going to be first person view as well to keep, this is a simulator, to keep it as realistic as possible. But yeah, our next stop is Gatwick Airport, so I'll probably see you when we are coming around Gatwick Airport. Hope you enjoy the ride. So I do think we're gonna come across some ambers and reds during this route as well, just because obviously with the time of this scenario, it's obviously heading into rush hour. So there may be times where obviously we'll need to slow down for some yellow signals or even stop for some red signals. So obviously the HUD at the top right obviously indicates the next couple of signals, whether they're green, amber or red. At the minute, obviously it's all green, so that's good. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some ambers and reds chucked in there as well, but we'll see, we'll see. We've now got just under 10 miles to go until our first stop at Gatwick Airport. Okay, so it seems like we've got a couple of amber and red signals. So because we're running at a high speed, we're just going to go in a step 2 application. Seems like we're going to be stopping just just at 3 bridges actually. So yeah, we will start to slow down. We are coming into Gatwick Airport quite early, so yeah, we're probably following a slower train at the minute. So let's make sure we don't run any signals, as that will not be great. So we've got no rush, so we're just gonna approach these signals slowly. We may as well just stay in step 1 in all honesty. Bring the speed down quite nicely by the time we get to 3 bridges. Like I said, as mentioned, we've really got no rush. Looks like the start of 3 bridges is here. So yeah, must be really early to be held up here, because we're still 3 miles outside of Gatwick Airport. So it's just creeping nice and slowly. Should be good. There we are. Won't need to go any slower than this. I believe you have to be slower than 20 miles an hour before getting to the AWS ramp. Otherwise it will trigger like emergency brakes. So we're just going to make sure we're below 20, just to avoid the emergency brakes being applied. Well, it could be 15. I'm not actually sure. I think it is 15. Okay, so it's just gone to a single yellow. So we can now proceed to add power, but we won't add too much. We'll sort of cruise at 35 miles an hour until the next signal. Yeah, 30 seems good. But it is still displaying a red aspect. I don't actually know where this signal is specifically, so we're just gonna stay at this speed. Okay, well it's turned into a yellow anyway, so we can add a little bit more power. And we'll cruise at 40 miles an hour. So Gatwick Airport is obviously one of London's major airports. I've passed through Gatwick Airport quite a few times, as I've been on this route in general quite a few times, going from Cambridgeshire to Brighton. So we can add a little bit more power now because it's a double yellow and not a single yellow, which indicates we might be okay all the way up until Gatwick Airport station now. Okay, so this is a single yellow, so we're gonna still apply some brakes just because the next display will be a red, which is the last signal before Gatwick Airport. So we just need to wait for our platform to be cleared essentially. So here at Gatwick Airport, we are going to be stopping at the end of the platform, just because obviously we've got 12 long coaches and we need to be able to fit them all on. And here is our arrival at Gatwick Airport. I'd say this is sort of like a perfect stopping position. And as predicted, this is a very busy service. Holy shit, look at all these people. Damn. Bloody heck. The back of the train's a bit quieter, but the front, holy shit, that is busy. Here's our train, 1712 departure from Gatwick Airport to London Victoria, calling at London Victoria only. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's get on our way. 24 hours a day. Okay. Let's do a nice little approach out of Gatwick Airport. I love this livery of the Gatwick Express. I don't know, I think red on a train's just a really nice colour. Oh god, that lighting was terrible, but here we are. The lighting, it's just, oh, just the colour's nice. It's a beautiful colour. Anyway, let's hop back in the cab and let's make our way to London Victoria in 23 miles. So the main reason why I'm braking early around these areas is because the signals are quite close together now that we're in London. Um, and obviously the speed restrictions are a lot closer than they seem. So I tend to brake a little bit early and just sort of like coast down to the new speed limit. Um, Also, as well, we're definitely going to be held up outside of London Victoria because we are really early. We are ahead of schedule by quite a bit. Um, well, I timed that perfectly then. But yeah, we're in a 60 zone now. And yeah, we're coming to the outskirts of London Victoria. We're just over 3 miles away. I think I've braked a little bit too much there. But yeah, we are really early so far. So here we have a double yellow. We could be held up here, and then outside London Victoria again. So we're just gonna again bring the train down to a nice slow speed before we get to the, yeah, we're definitely gonna be held here because the next signal after this red is green. So we're definitely gonna be held at this red signal. So we're just going to make sure we bring our train down nice and slow to make sure we have a nice gradual stop to the red signal. And here's our nice long red plasticky train. So we're not getting held outside of London Victoria. I'm actually quite surprised because we are still quite early, but that's okay. I guess sort of like all the ambers that we had around Clapham Junction um, slowed us down quite a bit. So we're gonna arrive early, but on time. If you've made it this far into the video, well done, because obviously it's quite a long video, but obviously I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, um, it was a nice route. I do like this route. Yeah, it's nothing long and it's nothing short. It's a nice 1 hour route with Gatwick Express. Um, but yeah, here's our arrival at London Victoria. We collect all these passengers off, and I hope they enjoy their evening in London Victoria. But here we are. Perfect. That's a perfect run as well.